There's a quiet second after you break another promise to yourself. The mug is cold, the tab is still open, and there's that small ache that says, "I thought today would be different." That moment isn't proof that you're weak. It's the gap between who you are and who you're trying to become. The bridge is smaller than you think. A small hinge, a heavy door. What if progress didn't need fireworks? What if it needed something human and repeatable? 1 minute done on a day you would have done nothing. A glass of water on the desk before you sit. 1 page while the kettle hums. 2 sentences sent instead of 2 minutes of scrolling. The brain learns from what you repeat. The heart trusts what you prove. Identity changes when actions whisper the same story again and again. You don't need a new life by morning. You need a promise you can't talk yourself out of. Not, "I'll change everything," but "I'll do something I can do right now." Say it. Prove it. That's the 1% mindset. It isn't loud. It isn't dramatic. It's quiet momentum, the kind that starts with a breath, a timer, a single line on the page. Imagine this week moving differently. No grand speeches. Just small, real wins that stack. Visible, countable, honest. Imagine the relief of trusting your own voice again because your words finally match your actions. That's what we're building here. Not hype, not perfection, but a rhythm you can live with. 2 minutes to start. 1 notch better by night. And then again tomorrow. Stay with me. Let's make progress feel close enough to touch. Identity before the plan. Say it first, do it second. That's the order that actually changes you, not a master plan, not a perfect system. A single sentence about who you are, spoken out loud, followed by 1 tiny proof before your brain starts negotiating. I'm the kind of person who finishes what he starts. I'm the woman who treats her body like it matters. I'm someone who ships by 2. When you say it, your mind looks for evidence. Give it evidence within 60 seconds. Fill a glass and set it on your desk. Open the doc and write the first honest line. Put on your shoes and stand at the door. Small proof, clear signal. Say it. Prove it. Plans live in a tomorrow that never pushes back. Identity lives in the now. The trick is to make now too small to scare you. If your line is, "I read daily," read 1 page while the kettle warms. If your line is, "I keep promises to myself," set a 2-minute timer and work until it ends. 2 minutes cuts the drama. 2 minutes gets you past the threshold where friction turns into motion. Stall. 2 minutes. Start. Every micro-promise you keep becomes a vote for the person you're becoming. 1 vote is nothing. A streak rewrites the map. You don't need a campaign speech. You need a daily ballot box. Keep it visible. Paper checklist. Counter app. A jar that collects paper clips. When the proof is done, mark it where you can see it. Visibility breeds momentum. Momentum breeds pride. If your history shows up with old stories you never follow through, don't argue with it. Make it irrelevant. Whisper the sentence again, softer if you need to, and fire your if-then. If I stall, I begin for 2 minutes. No debate, no drama, just the next rep. And if perfection walks in, "This is too small to matter," answer it plainly. Today's job is integrity, not intensity. Question for you. If your words were a contract, how many days this week did you honor it? Design your space so the room does half the work. Put the tool in your line of sight. Book on the pillow, guitar on a stand, running shoes by the door. Hide the friction, phone in another room, snacks off the desk, notifications off during your 2-minute start. Let the environment pull you into character the way a stage pulls an actor into a role. You shouldn't need courage to start. You should need effort to avoid starting. Keep the sentence the same for at least a week. You're not chasing novelty, you're building weight. When it starts to feel easy, that's not a cue to overhaul everything. That's trust forming. Add 5%, not 50. Upgrade only after a clean streak, and upgrade one variable at a time. A page becomes 2. 2 minutes become 3. Slow is smooth. Smooth becomes fast. Miss a day. Don't make it a story. Make it a data point. Late meeting, low energy. Proof moved too late at night. Adjust the conditions. Earlier slot, smaller first move, clearer setup. Then do a minimal version the same day you notice the miss. 10 push-ups, 1 paragraph, a 5-minute walk. Never miss twice. A weak rep keeps the door open. A second miss locks it. Close the loop at night with dignity. 2 lines in a notebook. Who I said I was. How I proved it. If you didn't prove it, write the exact friction and the fix. Proof at 8 a.m., right after coffee. Phone charging in the kitchen. This is not self-punishment. It's steering. Review takes 30 seconds. The signal to your nervous system is priceless. My words and my actions match. Share the identity in a small way once a week, not for likes, for anchor. If your sentence is, I share value, send 1 useful paragraph to a friend on Friday. If it's, I take care of my body, invite a colleague to a short walk at lunch. Service gives meaning. Meaning gives stamina. You'll notice something after a few honest days. The inner critic doesn't disappear, but it loses jurisdiction. Plans stop feeling like fantasies outsourced to a future version of you. They feel like schedules for a person who already exists. That quiet confidence, a voice you can trust again, arrives not with fireworks, but with the soft click of a tiny promise kept, repeated. Tonight, keep it simple. Write the sentence. Place the proof within reach. Make it so easy you'd feel silly not doing it. Then do it. Tomorrow, do it again. That's identity leading the plan, not the other way around. Now that you've named who you are, let's make the week obey that identity, with one clear target you can see every day. One clear weekly target. Big dreams scatter your focus. One clear target organizes your week. Pick one, not 5, not a wish list. One win that would make 7 days feel honest. Sleep by 11 p.m. Publish 2 short posts. Walk 40 minutes on 4 days. Draft the intro and point 1. Write it where you can see it. Sticky note on the monitor. First line of your notebook. Lock screen. Visibility is oxygen. Define the win so it's measurable and binary. Done or not done. No wiggle room. Eat better dies in ambiguity. Cook 3 home meals, lives. Work on the project, melts into air. Record 15 minutes of raw audio on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, lands. When the brain knows what to count, it knows what to pursue. Now make the target small enough to survive a messy week. If success requires a perfect day, it isn't a weekly target, it's a fantasy. Shrink until it feels slightly underwhelming. Underwhelming is good. It means you can hit it while tired, interrupted, human. Remember, the goal of a week is not to impress you, it's to train you. Give the target a home on your calendar, a place and a time. Tuesday, 8 a.m. to 8:45 a.m., headphones on, phone in another room. Friday, 6:30 p.m., grocery list plus prep. If the target doesn't exist on the clock, it doesn't exist. Protect the slot the way you protect a doctor's appointment. You wouldn't skip an X-ray because Instagram was interesting. Create guardrails in advance. If then rules save the week. If a meeting steals my morning slot, then I record at 6:15 p.m. before dinner. If I miss a day of walking, then I do 20 minutes at home that night. Simple, pre-decided moves prevent one wobble from becoming a slide. Midweek, run a 5-minute audit. Open the note, look at the target, ask one clean question. Am I on track, off track, or guessing? If you're guessing, you're off track. Adjust now. Smaller reps, earlier time, clearer setup. Tiny corrections beat heroic recoveries. Quick tools help. A physical tracker you can touch. A timer, a single checklist. Monday to Tuesday, to Wednesday, to Thursday, to Friday, to Saturday, to Sunday. Each X is a micro hit of satisfaction that keeps you coming back. Pair the hardest rep with a small reward immediately after. Playlist on the walk, better coffee after the draft, phone time after the recording. Reward effort now, not someday. Here's a question to sit with. If a stranger shadowed you for 7 days, could they guess your target without you saying a word? End the week with a 10-line debrief. 3 lines, what went right? 3, where friction lived. 3, what I'll change next week. 1 line, next week's single target. Keep the tone factual, not emotional. You're not grading your worth. You're steering the ship. And if the week explodes, travel, kids, surprise deadlines, salvage a minimum version. 10 minutes, 1 paragraph, a short loop around the block. Never miss twice. A week rep keeps the identity alive. Identity keeps the next week simple. Say it with me. 1 target, clear, visible, scheduled, guardrailed, measured. Hit it, and you'll feel something rare. Calm forward motion. Miss it, and you'll feel something useful. Clean feedback without shame. Either way, you learn fast. Now that the week obeys a single aim, we'll make each day obey a single notch. The 1% daily rule that stacks small gains into real change. The 1% daily rule. Big change is loud in movies. In real life, it's quiet. It sounds like a single notch better, repeated. 1%. Not impressive today, undeniable in a month. That's the rule. Pick one behavior and move it a tiny step, daily, so it becomes who you are, rather than what you sometimes do. Start with a habit that matters and survives chaos. Reading, movement, writing, sales outreach, language practice, something you can do tired, traveling, or stressed. Then define the notch. 1 extra minute, 1 extra page, 1 extra rep. The notch must be so small it never argues with you. Small removes drama. Small invites consistency. Consistency compounds. Make the proof visible. A simple tracker on paper. A tally app. A jar that eats paperclips. When you do the notch, mark it. When you mark it, you feel it. That micro hit of progress is not childish, it's chemistry. You're teaching your brain that effort pays now, not someday. Keep conditions constant. Same time window, same place, same starter queue. Pour water, open dock, press timer. The more sameness you build around the habit, the less willpower you need to begin. Habits love rituals the way seeds love soil. Scale with humility. If yesterday was 10 minutes, today becomes 11, not 30. Growth that doubles too fast breaks. Growth that creeps forward hardens. Your nervous system trusts gentle increases. Trust buys compliance. Compliance buys results. If, then rules protect the streak. If you wake late, then you do a half set at lunch. If travel ruins the routine, then you run a 2-minute micro version in the hotel room. The goal is not a perfect day, it's an unbroken identity. A weak rep is still a rep. Never miss twice. Here's your midpoint mirror. If I only improved this one habit by 1% each day for the next 30 days, what would undeniably feel different in my life? Use friction wisely. Make the notch too easy to skip. Write one ugly sentence. Read one page while the kettle hums. Do 5 push-ups before showering. Tiny is not a cop-out, it's a doorway. Once you step through, momentum usually takes you farther. If not, fine. The rule is 1%, not heroics. Pair the notch with a micro reward. Playlist on the walk. Better coffee after the paragraph. A minute of guilt-free scroll after outreach. Reward effort, not outcome. Outcomes lag. Rewards train. Midweek, check the signal. Open your tracker. Count honest checks. On track, off track, or guessing. Guessing means off track. Adjust immediately. Earlier slot, smaller notch, clearer queue. Tiny corrections beat grand apologies. Respect recovery. Some days the notch is maintaining, not increasing. Maintenance is part of compounding. You don't rip a muscle to prove commitment. You keep it alive to lift tomorrow. Discipline without kindness burns out. Discipline with kindness lasts. End each day with a single line. Notch logged, plus 1%. Read it back to yourself. That sentence is a promise kept in public. Public to you. Public enough to matter. Soon, the math gets emotional. 10 notches feel like pride. 20 feel like identity. 30 feel like gravity. You won't have to push as hard. The habit will start to pull. That's when you raise the floor, not the ceiling. Make your worst day better than your old best. And to make 1% automatic, the next move is simple. Lower the starting barrier until it's almost funny, so small you can't not begin. Make the first step laughably easy. Ambition loves drama. Action loves simplicity. If a task feels heavy at the start, we don't start. So we make the first move so small it's almost funny. Not a workout, shoes on, not a chapter. Open the doc and write one ugly line. Not 1,000 emails. Send one message you've been avoiding. When the doorway shrinks, resistance does too. That's the design. Here's the principle. Reduce the surface area of friction. Touch the thing. That's it. Put the glass of water on the desk before you sit. Place the book on the pillow at noon so it greets you at night. Open the instrument case and rest it on a stand. Micro setup invites micro action. Micro action invites momentum. You're not tricking yourself. You're respecting how the nervous system moves from stillness to motion by tiny ramps, not cliffs. Use verbs that begin. Open, put on, type one line, walk to the door. The brain handles beginnings better than completions. Once you begin, completion often follows on its own, and if it doesn't, no problem. The mission was the first step. You won. Make it visible. Write your laughably easy start on a sticky note above your workstation. Hit timer. 1 sentence, shoes on. Outside, press record, 60 seconds. When the cue is in your face, willpower can take the morning off. Bundle the start with a cue you already do. After coffee, open the doc. After brushing teeth, shoes on. After lunch, 5-minute walk. The old behavior carries the new one like a train car carries a passenger. No extra decision needed. Midpoint mirror. If your first step were 10 times smaller, would you do it now? If the answer is yes, shrink it. Again, smaller. The first step should feel too easy to skip. You're building a bridge for your future self, the tired one, the anxious one, the one between meetings. That version of you deserves a gentle on-ramp, not a pep talk. Use a 2-minute guarantee. Promise only what you can honor on your worst day. 2 minutes of typing, 2 minutes of stretching, 2 minutes of outreach. Start the timer and let the timer carry you. Sometimes you'll keep going. Sometimes you'll stop at 2. Both count. Why? Because identity cares that you began. Consistency cares that you return tomorrow. Excellence comes later. Design friction fail-safes. Put the phone in another room before your 2-minute start. Close every tab except the one you need. Mute notifications for 20 minutes. Remove choices. Fewer doors mean fewer escapes. Script your if-then for stuck moments. If I still hesitate, then I make it even smaller. From write paragraph to write sentence. From 10 push-ups to 5. From walk 20 minutes to walk to the mailbox. You are not lowering standards. You are lowering entry cost. Be kind in the language you use with yourself. Say, today we begin, not, finally, stop being lazy. The nervous system hears tone. It remembers tone. A kind tone makes starting safe. Safe beginnings repeat. Capture the micro-win immediately. Check the box. Tap the counter. Say out loud, started. That tiny stamp matters. It turns a whisper into a record. Records build trust. Trust builds speed. Soon you'll feel it. The first step becomes automatic. You'll catch your body moving before your brain makes a speech. That's when the 1% rule gets teeth. Because beginning is no longer a negotiation, it's a reflex. And once you can begin on command, it's time to train your brain to enjoy the rep itself. Pairing effort with instant honest reward, so the loop keeps closing. Reward effort. Now. Motivation follows reward, not the other way around. If effort feels empty, the brain avoids it. If effort earns something now, the brain returns. That's the lever. Pair the hard rep with a small, honest payoff. Immediately, so the loop closes today, not someday. Keep it simple. After the paragraph, sip the good coffee. After the outreach call, step into sun for 1 slow minute. After the walk, play that one song you love. Headphones on, eyes closed. Effort arrow reward. Close the circuit while the sweat is still warm. Make rewards clean, not numbing. Fresh air, music, stretch, a page of a novel, a check mark you can see. Avoid rewards that swallow the day. Junk food, endless scroll, 1 episode. You're reinforcing a behavior, not sedating a feeling. If a reward steals your next rep, it wasn't a reward. It was a trap. Name the reward before you start. When I finish 20 minutes of drafting, I brew the good coffee. When I hit send on 2 emails, I walk outside with music. Pre-deciding removes negotiation. The brain loves certainty. Certainty gets you to start. Tie rewards to effort, not outcome. You don't control replies, you control dials. Pay the effort every time it happens. Outcomes will come when they're ready. Your job is to make the path feel worth walking. Today, layer in tiny visuals, a tally that clicks, a paper calendar with bold X's, a jar that eats paper clips. Touching a record right after the rep gives the reward texture. Progress you can touch is progress you repeat. Use micro-delights you won't outgrow. A better mug, a song you only play post-rep. A short balcony ritual, a 5-breath stretch looking at the sky. These are small on purpose. Small keeps them sustainable. Small keeps them special. Midpoint mirror. If your brain could speak, would it say, effort pays, or effort hurts? If it says hurts, fix the ratio. Shrink the rep and sweeten the payoff. Make the first 5 minutes light and the first reward instant. You're not bribing yourself. You're teaching your biology that work is safe. Safe things repeat. Beware the counterfeit loop. Finish paragraph. Scroll for 30 minutes. That's not a loop. That's a leak. Close it. Use a timer on rewards too. 1 song, 1 page, 1 minute in the sun. When the queue ends, you return. Clean, not guilty. Stack rewards with identity. If your sentence is, I take care of my body, let the reward echo that identity. Fruit you enjoy. A stretch that feels kind. If your sentence is, I create daily, let the reward feed creation. Read a great paragraph. Listen to a piece that sparks ideas. Rewards can be fuel, not frosting. Talk to yourself like a smart coach. Good rep. Payment delivered. Say it out loud. Sounds silly. Works anyway. The nervous system registers tone and timing. Immediate praise plants roots deeper than delayed applause. Set one luxury for the end of a streak. 5 straight days. Saturday afternoon at your favorite cafe. 10 straight. A new playlist. A nicer notebook. Streak rewards should be meaningful, not massive. The work builds the person. The reward names the season. If, then guardrails. If I can't deliver the planned reward, then I deliver a smaller one within 2 minutes. No skipped payments. Consistency is currency. End each day with a receipt. 1 line in your notebook. Effort paid, yes. That sentence closes the ledger clean. Clean ledgers invite tomorrow's business. Soon, discipline will stop feeling like deprivation and more like a trade you're willing to make. Effort in, energy out. And when effort starts to pay, the next truth lands easier. Discomfort isn't a red flag. It's a growth signal you can breathe through. Rename good pain. Your body speaks first. Your mind translates later. When you start the hard rep, first mile, first paragraph, first difficult call, the body sends a signal. Heat in the chest, tightness in the throat, a small wave of stop. Most of us call that signal danger. We back out. But here's the reframe. This isn't a red flag. It's a green light you haven't learned to read. Good pain is the sensation of edges expanding. Name it right, and you'll move through it. Name it wrong, and you'll run from it. Start simple. Label what you feel without drama. Warmth in chest, pressure behind eyes, buzz in the arms. That's interoception, attention to the inside. When you map the sensation, the story calms down. Now rename it. This is growth. Say it out loud, not as a mantra you don't believe, but as a direction for your nervous system. Your biology listens to tone. Give it a calm one. Use the 90-second wave. Most uncomfortable surges peak and fade fast if you don't feed them. Set a timer. Breathe slowly, in through the nose for 4, out for 6. While the timer runs, keep the behavior alive at the smallest gear. Walk, don't stop. Type, don't delete. Speak, don't apologize for existing. When the buzzer hits, decide again. 9 times out of 10, the wave has passed, and what felt impossible is merely uncomfortable. Pair discomfort with clean mechanics. Form makes pain informative. Bad form makes pain punitive. If running, shorter stride, softer land, shoulders low. If writing, cursor to the ugliest sentence. Move forward 1 line, no editing. If calls, script the first 10 seconds. Stand up, smile as you dial. Technique converts panic into signal. Signal you can use. Keep score the right way. Track reps through discomfort, not just outcomes. A tiny checkmark next to any session where you stayed in the room with the feeling. Progress is not the absence of pain. It's improved behavior in its presence. Every checkmark teaches your brain. We meet heat with skill. Build a vocabulary for good pain. Stretch burn equals opening. Lactic acid equals fuel byproduct. Social nerves equals effort to care. Creative anxiety equals idea in transit. The more precise your words, the less your amygdala has to guess. Guessing breeds alarms. Precision flips switches. Midpoint mirror. When discomfort shows up, do you treat it as a stop sign or a hallway? Set your if-then rules for the first sting. If I feel the chest tighten in minute 2, then I drop pace and stay moving. If I want to delete the sentence, then I write 2 more ugly lines before I'm allowed to edit. If I want to close the dialer, then I leave 1 voicemail before I take a breath. Pre-decisions turn alarms into roots. Differentiate good pain from bad pain. Good pain is symmetrical, warms as you move, fades after the set. Bad pain is sharp, one-sided, worsens as you continue, and lingers next morning. Good pain gets a green light with pace control. Bad pain gets a stop and a plan. You're training discipline, not recklessness. Add comfort anchors without quitting. For physical work, count breaths, relax jaw, shake arms every minute. For cognitive work, lower shoulders, widen peripheral vision, exhale longer. For social stress, plant feet, drop weight into the floor, soften voice. Anchors give your biology a handle when the room heats up. Reward the crossing, not the finish line. The moment you ride the wave without bailing, pay yourself. Music for 1 minute, sunlight on your face, a check on paper. Reinforce the identity. I'm someone who stays with good pain. Talk to yourself like a smart coach. Clean form. Breathe. Stay. Not, don't be weak. Shame spikes stress. Calm cues lower it. A lower stress curve equals better reps. Better reps build the person you said you were. Close each session with a 2-line note. What I felt. How I moved through it. That's a manual you're writing for your future self. The tired you, the anxious you, the you who forgets how strong you are. Manuals beat memory. Soon you'll notice the flip. The first sting arrives, and your body doesn't panic. It organizes. Your breath lengthens. Your eyes settle. Your form cleans up. That's the tell. You're renaming signals. You're reclaiming range. And once you can stay with the heat, the next move becomes obvious. Design your path so it pulls you forward even on low willpower days. Remove 1 distraction, place 1 tool in sight, and let the room carry half the load. Design the path, not rely on willpower. Willpower is a sprint. Environment is a conveyor belt. If you build the belt right, even a tired version of you keeps moving. So stop blaming motivation and start shaping the path. Fewer choices, fewer traps. More cues that pull you into motion without a speech. Begin where your hand goes first. If the first grab in the morning is your phone, you've already given your attention away. Charge it in another room. Put a glass of water where the phone used to be. Your hand will reach. Let it reach for something that helps. You don't need a new personality. You need a new default. Make your tools visible and within 1 move. Book on the pillow, shoes by the door, laces loose. Guitar on a stand, not in a case. Document pinned to the dock. Template open, cursor waiting. The brain follows the path of least resistance. So, cut a groove. Make the right action feel like sliding, not climbing. Shrink the exit doors. Browser with only the tab you need. Separate profile for work, no social login saved. Notifications off by default, on by exception. Install a blocker for your 3 top time thieves and schedule it to guard your best hour. You're not being dramatic. You're being realistic about friction. Friction is quiet power. Preload the start. Pack the gym bag at night. Lay out the cutting board for morning prep. Put the mic and pop filter where your chair turns left. If the first 30 seconds are smooth, the next 10 minutes usually happen. The enemy isn't difficulty, it's clunky beginnings. Use physical anchors, a paper checklist on the desk, a wall calendar with visible X's, a small tray that only holds what today requires. When you can see the work, your body understands what to do. The abstract becomes concrete. Concrete gets done. Write rules you can perform, not just remember. Laptop on the dining table means writing only. Headphones on means no phone. Standing desk up means outreach. Tie states to rules. Then let states do the thinking so your brain can do the doing. Guard the high focus window like it's rented time. Pick the hour. Shut the door. Put the phone in exile. Put a literal sign near your space. Deep work, 8:30 to 9:15. If other people are around, they'll learn. If it feels awkward, good. Awkward is the sound of a boundary forming. Midpoint mirror. If a stranger walked into your space, could they guess what you're trying to do here in the next 30 minutes? If not, fix the set. Clear the stage. Remove anything that belongs to a different scene. Water bottle, timer, single page with today's target. Keep those. Everything else can wait. Your desk isn't a museum, it's a runway. Stack cues on routines you already do. After coffee, press timer. After lunch, 5-minute walk. After shutting the laptop, 2-line review. The old habit tows the new one like a steady locomotive. You don't argue with a train, you board it. Engineer social gravity. Text one friend your plan for the hour. Writing 8:30 to 9:15, sending you a screenshot. The point isn't pressure, it's visibility. People show up for what's seen. Even if the friend never replies, you'll feel the tug. Tug beats pep talk. Design recovery into the path. A visible stretch mat. A short walk loop right outside your door. A playlist that means slow down, not shut down. If rest is easy to start, you won't use distraction to get it. Clean rest protects clean work. Refresh the path weekly. 10 minutes to reset the desk, swap the sticky notes, archive clutter, rewrite the one rule that kept breaking. Tiny maintenance prevents big messes. The goal isn't a perfect system, it's a forgiving one. Soon you'll notice this. On low willpower days, you still do the thing. Maybe shorter, maybe lighter, but you do it. That's path design doing its job. The conveyor belt carried you. You didn't win a battle, you skipped it. And once the path is working, we'll add rhythm, micro rituals morning and night that tune your start and close your loop so each day clicks into place. Micro morning and night rituals. Days don't just happen, they're tuned. The tuning fork is small, 2 short rituals that bookend the noise and teach your nervous system what this life is about. Morning sets the channel, night locks the gains. Keep the morning tiny, human, repeatable. 3 moves, 2 minutes, no drama. Water first, half a glass while you stand by the sink. Posture up, shoulders down, breath in for 4, out for 6. Then 1 line, spoken out loud, that names your identity and aim. Today, I ship 1 honest page. Today, I move my body with respect. Say it like you're handing yourself the keys. You don't need motivation. You need a signal. Water, breath, words. That's the signal. Make 1 first action sacred. Timer on. 2 minutes toward the day's single target. Not checking, not sorting. Touch the work. When you touch it early, the whole day tilts your way. If life derails you later, the identity already fired. you're ahead. Protect this with a tiny boundary. Phone stays face down until the first action is done. If you must check something, check it after you've checked in with yourself. Algorithms can wait. Your aim cannot. Now the night. Night is not a dump zone. Night is where you teach your brain which memories to keep. Keep it short. 1 page open on your desk or a small card. 2 lines only. What moved forward? What will I do first tomorrow? Keep tone factual. Celebrate the smallest proof. If nothing moved, write 1 friction you'll remove before bed. Shoes at the door. Dock open. Phone charging in the kitchen. Set the runway while the engines are cold. Add 1 release cue so your body lets go. 10 slow breaths by the window. Neck and jaw relax. A stretch you like. A warm shower if you can. The message is simple. We did enough for today. We'll do more tomorrow. You're training trust, not chasing perfection. Give both rituals a visible home. A glass on the counter, a card and pen on the pillow, a small tray that holds only water, card, timer. When the objects live where the behavior lives, the ritual runs itself. You shouldn't have to remember your life every morning. You should arrive in it. Midpoint mirror. If a stranger watched your first 5 minutes and your last 5 minutes, would they know what matters to you? If not, simplify. Strip the morning to water, breath, words, first action. Strip the night to 2 lines and 1 release. Cut any step you regularly skip. What remains is the part that will actually happen. Stack identity inside these rituals. If your sentence is, I take care of my body, your morning line includes a movement promise, and your night review counts the walk, not just the steps on a screen. If your sentence is, I create daily, you speak it in the morning and stamp it at night with 1 sentence saved. Rituals are not chores. They are the conversation between who you say you are and what you did. On rough days, shrink but don't cancel. Half a glass. 1 breath. A single word. Move. 2 scratches on paper. Walked. Timer 2 minutes. That's enough to preserve identity. Identity preserved today makes progress possible tomorrow. After a week, these bookends will start to hum. Mornings feel pointed, nights feel clean. The day has edges now, edges that keep the middle from spilling everywhere. You'll notice less panic and more pacing. Not because life got easier, but because you started conducting it. With the frame in place, we turn to fuel. Clear water, better sleep, brief movement between scenes. When the body runs clean, the mind runs sharp, and sharp minds keep promises. Body fuels brain. Clarity is chemical, focus is physiological. If your body runs low, your mind runs loud. So we treat energy like a craft, not a mood. Clean inputs, smart timing, tiny resets that keep the lights bright upstairs. Start with water. Overnight, you lose fluid. Dehydration mimics anxiety and fatigue. Half a glass on waking. Another within the first hour. Keep a bottle in reach, not as a rule, but as a reminder. Every sip is a small rescue. Fog lifts, friction drops, light next. Eyes to daylight early. 2 to 10 minutes if you can. Window if not. No sunglasses for the first few minutes unless you need them. You're setting the body clock that sets your brain clock. When the clock is right, motivation stops yo-yoing. You ride a wave instead of rowing a bathtub. Protein early calms the ride. A simple anchor, eggs, yogurt, beans, a shake, whatever fits your life. Carbs have a place, sugar has a cost. Save the sweet for later, not first thing. Stable blood sugar equals stable attention. Stable attention equals fewer broken promises. Caffeine is a tool, not a personality. Delay it a bit. Let your natural wake chemicals do the first lift. Then use coffee or tea to amplify a real start, not to fake one. Stop early enough that sleep can find you at night. Sleep is not a luxury. It's the operating system. Without it, every other habit runs glitchy. Move in small pulses. You don't need a gym to have a brain. 2 minutes between scenes. 5 squats, a wall push, a hallway walk, a stretch that opens the chest. Blood up, mind clear. Movement scrubs the noise and gives your next block a clean floor. Guard sleep like a secret mission. Consistent time. Dark room. Cool air. Screens out of the last hour if you can manage it. Even 20 minutes helps. If worry visits at bedtime, don't negotiate in your head. Park it on paper. 3 lines of tomorrow, I'll close the notebook. Close the loop. Watch your afternoon dip. It's not moral failure. It's biology. Have a plan that isn't a crash. A glass of water, a short walk, a piece of fruit, 3 slow breaths at the window. If you need caffeine, pick the smallest dose that works and pair it with daylight and a brief stroll. Stimulant plus stillness equals jitters. Stimulant plus movement equals focus. Midpoint mirror. If a camera tracked your water, light, protein, movement and sleep for 3 days, would your mental fog make sense? If yes, fix the obvious before you fix your character. Most discipline problems are fuel problems in disguise. When your body's topped up, willpower becomes a backup, not a crutch. Create visible anchors. Bottle on desk. Walking shoes by the door. A short playlist named Reset for 2-minute movement bursts. A sticky note that simply says, light, water, move. Your brain loves cues. Give it generous ones. Eat for tomorrow's mind, not tonight's craving. Big late meals and doom-scroll sleep kill morning promise. Choose a finish line for food and screens. Not perfect. Predictable. Predictable restores your edge. And be kind in your expectations. Some days are heavy. On those, keep the basics alive. Sip, step, stretch, breathe. You're not aiming for a perfect biohacker day. You're aiming for enough chemistry to keep your word. Enough is plenty when it repeats. Soon you'll feel the shift. Less inner static, more accessible calm. Tasks stop feeling personal. They feel procedural. That's energy doing its quiet work, turning effort into something you can actually pay. With clean fuel in place, you're ready to cash it in. One protected deep work window where the phone disappears, the timer starts, and real progress happens. Deep work window, phone away. Real progress needs a room with a door, not a literal door. An hour with edges. No pings, no wandering. One clear task, done in a clean block while your attention is whole. That's deep work. It isn't heroic. It's protected. Choose the window you can actually defend. Not the mythical perfect slot, the one that exists. 45 minutes before the world wakes. 35 after lunch when others scroll. 60 while the house is quiet. Put it on the clock. Title it. Draft intro. Outline section 2. Edit 5 minutes of audio. Naming turns fog into a target. Clear the stage. Close every tab except the one you need. Documents ready. Cursor waiting. Headphones on if they help. Water within reach. Everything else out. Put the phone in another room, not face down. Away. If it's near, you'll touch it. If you touch it, you'll lose 10 minutes to a thought that wasn't yours. Start with a ritual that signals depth. Timer to 25 to 50 minutes. Breath in for 4, out for 6. Shoulders drop. Whisper your aim once, one honest page. Press start. The timer isn't pressure, it's a container. Containers calm the mind. The mind works better when it knows where the edges are. Work ugly first. Don't polish. Don't backspace. Get clay on the table. Polishing clay you don't have is how days disappear. Momentum lives in volume before it lives in quality. You can fix later. You can't edit nothing. Use a single task shield. Write it big on a card beside you. Only task. When a random thought barges in, groceries, email, a clever idea, park it on a scrap paper. Return to the line. Parking lots beat rabbit holes. Halfway in, check posture and pace. Unclench jaw. Relax hands. Soften eyes. Micro-reset your body to reset your focus. Tiny maintenance keeps the block clean. Midpoint mirror. If someone filmed the last 10 minutes of your screen, would they see one task or a collage of micro-escapes? If it's a collage, tighten the edges. Shorten the timer by 5 minutes. Turn the chair slightly away from the room. Expand the text window to cover the screen. Reduce the friction to staying. Increase the friction to leaving. When the timer ends, stop. Stand. Walk for 1 minute. Drink water. If the work has heat, set another block. If not, leave a breadcrumb. A note to your future self that says where to begin next time. Breadcrumbs cut warm-up time in half. Measure the block by behavior, not brilliance. Phone away? Yes. Tabs closed? Yes. Minutes in chair? 38 out of 45. The point of deep work is depth, not genius. Depth repeated breeds quality anyway. Protect the window with small rules others can see. A sticky note. Recording 8:30 to 9:15. A closed door during the block. A light cue on your desk. You're not being precious. You're making your promise visible. Reward the block quickly and cleanly. Song. Stretch. Sunlight. A single check mark on paper. You're wiring, I go deep arrow. I feel good now. The brain learns fast when the payment is on time. Over days, the block will become a place you trust. You'll arrive, drop in faster, and come up with something real in less time. Not because you became more disciplined, but because you removed the reasons to flee. And when your focus is strong, hesitation shrinks. The next lever is simple and sharp. Pre-decide your responses so doubt has nowhere to grow. If then rules that kill hesitation before it speaks. If. Then rules to kill hesitation. Hesitation grows in empty space. Fill the space with decisions made in advance. If X happens, then I do Y. Short, simple, performable on a tired day. You're not negotiating with mood anymore. You're executing a script you wrote when you were calm. Start with your top 3 stalls, the places you regularly leak time, opening social apps, avoiding the first line, stopping when it starts to feel hard. Write them down. Now write the counter move right beside each one. If I reach for my phone, then I put it in the other room and start a 2-minute timer. If I stare at the cursor, then I type one ugly sentence I'm willing to delete. If the workout feels heavy at minute 2, then I cut the pace in half and keep moving for 90 seconds. Make rules physical. Rules you can do, not just remember. Touch, move, start. The body understands verbs. Decide is vague. Stand up and set timer is clear. Keep rules ridiculously small. The point is not to win the whole day, it's to break the freeze. Once you're moving, momentum helps. If not, fine. You still honored the rule. Credit counts. Tie rules to your identity line. I'm the person who ships by 2. Then, if noon hits and I haven't started, I press record for 60 seconds or write 3 bullet ideas. The identity picks the direction. The rule pulls the trigger. Post them where the hesitation lives. On the laptop bezel, on the fridge, inside the gym bag. Don't hide your wisdom in a notebook. Put it in your way. Use a single universal starter for chaotic days. If I feel lost, then I do 2 minutes on my single weekly target. That rule rescues momentum when life is loud. 2 minutes isn't small, it's merciful. Midpoint mirror. In the last 48 hours, how many stalls did you solve with a written if-then? And how many did you leave to mood? When a rule fires, close the loop with praise and proof. Say it out loud. Rule executed. Check the box. The brain learns from completion. Make completion loud. Evolve rules with data, not ego. If a rule keeps breaking, shrink it. From 5 minutes to 2, from 10 push-ups to 5, from right paragraph to right sentence. You are designing compliance, not testing willpower. Stack rules into your deep work window. If a random thought appears, then I park it on paper and return to line. If the timer feels long, then I trim it by 5 minutes. No phone. The rules protect depth from the inside. Guardrails for nights too. If I'm tempted to doom scroll in bed, then I put the phone to charge in the kitchen and read 1 page already on the pillow. Sleep wins. Tomorrow, thanks you. And for tough conversations. If I feel my chest tighten, then I soften my shoulders, slow my exhale, and say 1 clear sentence I prepared. Physiology first, words second. The rule keeps you human when stakes rise. Once these rules run for a week, hesitation will have fewer places to grow. You won't be more motivated, you'll be less undecided. That quiet certainty is what we measure in the next move. A weekly calm check-in that turns noise into numbers and numbers into better weeks. Weekly calm check-in. Speed without steering is how strong weeks crash. The calm check-in is your steering wheel. 15 quiet minutes that turn noise into numbers, stories into signals, and guilt into next steps you can actually do. Same time each week, same chair, same pen. Make it a ritual you can trust. Open a single page. Title it with the dates. Draw 3 short lines. Reps, deep work, 1% notch. Count, don't judge. How many honest reps did you log? How many protected blocks did you complete? How many days did you nudge the habit by 1%? Numbers first, feelings later. When facts go first, the mind calms. Write 3 wins. Small is fine. Walked during the afternoon dip. Phone in another room for the block. Sent 2 messages I'd been avoiding. Name the behavior, not the luck. Your brain needs to see what you did, so it knows what to repeat. Now find friction. 1 to 3 spots where energy leaked. Late sleep, cluttered desk, vague targets, phone gravity, meetings swallowing mornings. Circle the biggest leak. We don't fix everything. We fix the loudest thing. Design 1 tiny repair for next week. If the leak was vague targets, next week's first job each morning is a 2-minute plan on paper. If the leak was phone pull, charger moves to the kitchen and do not disturb guards the best hour. If the leak was late nights, screens end 30 minutes earlier and a paperback waits on the pillow. Small, visible, scheduled. Check your if-then rules. Which fired, which failed. Shrink one that keeps breaking. Upgrade one that now feels easy. Rules evolve or they die. Keep them living. Glance at your single weekly target. On track, off track, or guessing. If you're guessing, you're off track. Move the target to a protected slot on the calendar. Targets without time are wishes in costume. Run a short identity audit. Did your words match your actions at least once a day? If yes, note the exact conditions that helped. Time, place, setup. If not, Choose a smaller daily proof and place the tool where your hand goes first. Identity hates abstraction. Give it objects. Midpoint mirror. If a stranger read only this page, would they know what to repeat and what to remove next week? Close with a 2-line promise. Line 1. Next week's one target. Write it. Line 2. First move Monday, 8 a.m. Write the smallest observable start. Then set one reminder you can't ignore. Calendar ping. Paper on keyboard. Note taped to the door. Future you deserves a runway, not a pep talk. Pay yourself for the review. Stretch. Sunlight. A favorite song. You just turned self-criticism into navigation. That's rare. That's how grown-ups learn fast. File the page where you can see it. A thin stack of weekly pages becomes a map. You'll watch the person you're building move from ink to instinct. Less drama, more rhythm, weeks that feel the same, but land better. And once the steering is set, mistakes stop feeling fatal. They start feeling informative. Next up, we'll use that attitude on purpose. Review, don't self-punish, so a bad moment doesn't become a bad week. Review, don't self-punish. Mistakes aren't moral reports, they're data. Treat them that way and you'll improve. Treat them like verdicts and you'll hide. The moment you slip, late wake up, missed block, snack detour, catch the story before it blooms. Swap judgment for journalism. What happened, when, where, and what was in the way. Facts first, feelings later. Run a 2-minute post-rep review. Timer on. 1 line. What moved forward? 1 line. Where did it snag? 1 line. What tiny change makes the next rep easier? Keep it on paper, not in your head. Brains rehearse shame when you leave them alone. Hands write fixes. Use a 3-step lens. Facts, friction, fix. Fact, scroll 23 minutes before the deep work window. Friction, phone on desk, low sleep. Fix, phone to kitchen at 8:20, bedtime 30 minutes earlier. You're not scolding a child, you're adjusting a machine. Small dials, honest settings. Change the voice in your head. Coaches build, judges punish. When the inner judge starts a speech, lower your shoulders and say 1 line like a coach. We learned something. Here's the adjustment. Tone matters. Your nervous system listens to tone. A kinder tone keeps access to effort. Zoom out by 1 level. Instead of I failed, say, the conditions beat me. Conditions are movable. Move 1. Make beginnings smaller. Make cues louder. Make exits harder. You're not weak. Your setup was noisy. Quiet the room. Grant yourself a 24-hour comeback rule. You don't owe perfection. You owe a return. A miss today earns a micro-rep tonight or tomorrow morning. 2 push-ups, a single sentence, a 5-minute walk. Tiny, immediate repairs stop a wobble from becoming a story. Midpoint mirror. If a friend you respect had your exact day, what would you say to help them improve tomorrow without shaming them? Write the answer down and give it to yourself. Self-distance works. You language often lands softer than I. You got hit by the afternoon dip. Put water and shoes by the door at 3:30. Walk loop at 3:45. Phone stays charging. Directions, not accusations. Track behavior, not identity. Minutes in chair. Pages touched. Calls attempted. Windows protected. Outcome is lagging. Behavior is now. When behavior is visible, pride returns faster. Pride fuels the next rep. Design a pre-mortem for common fails. Before a fragile block, ask, if this goes sideways, why? Prepare a counter move in advance. Second time slot. smaller start, printed checklist. When the snag appears, you already have a handhold. Close each day with a receipt, not a verdict. One line, kept word here. One line, fix cued here. Then sleep. Tomorrow needs your chemistry, not your guilt. Over a few honest days, you'll notice the emotional slope flatten, fewer spikes, quicker resets. Work starts to feel procedural again, things you do, not battles you win. That's review doing its quiet magic, turning "I'm behind" into "I'm steering." And once review is clean, the next safeguard is simple and strong. Protect the streak by refusing escalation. A miss happens. The rule is mercy and return. Never miss twice. Never miss twice. Perfection breaks, streaks bend. What saves your progress isn't avoiding every miss. It's refusing escalation. One miss is life. 2 in a row is a pattern. So you make a rule you can keep on your worst day. Miss once, never twice. Mercy first. Return fast. The moment you notice the slip, shrink the standard. Don't pay back the whole debt. Pay something now. 10 push-ups instead of the workout. 1 ugly paragraph instead of a full draft. A 5-minute loop outside instead of the long walk. Weak reps keep identity alive. Identity keeps the week simple. Use time windows, not perfect slots. If the 8 a.m. block died, you have a backup window before dinner. 15 minutes, phone away, timer on. Name that backup in advance. If morning fails, then 6:15 p.m., kitchen table, headphones. Pre-decided returns beat heroic apologies. Keep a minimum viable rep written where you can see it. A sticky note on the monitor. MVR equals 2 minutes typing. On the fridge, MVR equals fruit plus water. In the gym bag, MVR equals 5 sets of 5 breaths plus 5 squats. When you're tired, you don't invent a rescue. You run the one you staged. Treat momentum like a living thing. It doesn't need grand gestures. It needs food. Feed it quickly. The longer you wait, the heavier the door. That's why the second miss feels different. It adds story. I'm off track. Don't debate the story. Starve it. Start. Tie the rule to visible proof, a calendar that forgives. If a day goes blank, the next day gets a bold X, even for the smallest rep. Train your eyes to notice recovery. Recovery is a skill. Skills get stronger when they're seen. Midpoint mirror. When you miss, do you design the quickest, honest return, or do you design a punishment that makes you avoid returning? Punishment feels righteous. It's also a relapse plan. Choose mercy with teeth. Tiny rep, right now, logged. Mercy keeps access to effort. Effort, repeated, restores pride. Pride, restored, makes stronger days inevitable. Language matters, not "I failed again." Try "the streak bent." I'm straightening it, not "back to square one." Try "next brick now." You're coaching a nervous system, not performing for a jury. Calm, specific cues beat drama every time. Close loops at night with receipts, not regret. 2 lines. Miss here. Return here. If the return didn't happen, schedule the MVR on the clock for morning and set the objects in place before bed. Shoes by door, dock open, phone charging far away. You're building a ramp in the dark so morning you can slide. Protect recovery days on purpose. Sleep earlier, eat simpler, walk slower. A lighter day is not a break in identity, it's a deposit into tomorrow's rep. Overtraining breaks streaks faster than laziness. You're building a life you can repeat. After a few weeks, the magic shows. Bad days shrink from avalanches to pebbles. You stop fearing dips because you've rehearsed the return. The streak is no longer brittle. It bends, then it's back. And when your rhythm holds, even through misses, growth wants to spill outward. The next lever makes the identity sticky. Turn your private wins into small public value. One act of service each week that anchors who you're becoming. Turn growth into service. Private wins are powerful. Shared wins are sticky. When your progress helps someone else, identity hardens. The loop closes. The work stops being about you alone. And that makes it easier to keep going on days you're tired of you. Keep it small and weekly. One act, one person, one useful thing. Friday note to a friend with 3 lines on something you learned. A 2-minute voice message to a younger colleague about what finally made deep work click. A short post that gives one practical step, not a speech. You're not building a brand, you're anchoring a self. Tie service to your sentence. If you're the person who ships by 2, share a screenshot of your 45-minute block with one tip that made it happen. If you're the person who treats the body with respect, invite a co-worker for a 10-minute walk at lunch and leave them with one micro rule that actually works. The service echoes the identity. Echoes make memory. Design it like any representative. Visible, scheduled, guardrailed. Put help one person on the calendar. 15 minutes. Name the person, name the value. Keep it performable on a tired day. 1 paragraph, 1 link, 1 invite. If you need inspiration, keep a service jar on your desk with names and tiny ideas you drop in during the week. Friday, you pick one and do it. Use what you already do. Drafting scripts? Share one clean template line that others can steal. Training? Record a 60-second start here warm-up. Reading? Highlight 1 paragraph and add your 2-sentence take. Teaching others forces clarity. Clarity upgrades your own system. Everyone wins. Watch tone. Share like a teammate, not a preacher. Here's what worked for me this week. Maybe it helps. The nervous system on the other end is sensitive to judgment. Keep the door open. Curiosity travels. Ego repels. Midpoint mirror. If someone followed your footprint this week, would they find a small piece of value they could actually use tomorrow? Make generosity easy to start. Create a default message you can customize in 90 seconds. Thought of you while doing X. Here's the tiny tweak that helped me. If it's useful, use it. If not, ignore with love. When the template is ready, service happens even when mood is low. Protect your core rep first. Service is a multiplier, not a detour. Ship your block, walk your loop, write your page, then share. If time is tight, share the setup you already did. The sticky note, the timer, the phone exiled to the kitchen. Most people need the runway more than the lecture. Reward the giving. A minute of sun, a better mug of coffee, a check mark on a helped one person box. Your brain learns fast when kindness feels good now, not someday. Immediate payment keeps the behavior alive. Keep a tiny ledger of impact. 1 line per week. Name. What you sent. Any reply. Don't chase validation, but do count the touch. Counting builds pride. Pride fuels stamina. And keep boundaries. Service isn't people-pleasing. Say yes to the small act you can finish today. Say no to the sprawling favor that eats your anchors. If a request threatens your identity reps, offer a lighter version or a later time. Protect the engine that makes the giving possible. Over time, you'll notice a shift. The work stops feeling lonely. Your identity starts to feel communal. On hard mornings, you'll keep your promise because someone else is waiting for the version of you who does. That's gravity. That's how small wins become a life that holds. If you'd like, we can close with a short, resonant outro that ties all 15 moves into one living rhythm you can carry tomorrow morning. This isn't a story about willpower. It's a story about design. Tiny choices arranged in a way that even your tired self can keep. One sentence of identity, one clear weekly target, 1% a day, a laughably easy first step, effort paid now, good pain renamed, a path that carries you, 2 quiet rituals to tune the day, clean fuel for a sharp mind, a protected block where real work happens, if-then rules that cut hesitation, a calm weekly steering wheel, review without shame, a streak that bends but doesn't break, and growth that becomes service, so meaning pays you back. You don't need to become someone else tonight. You need to become slightly more you, on paper, on the clock, in your body. Say it, prove it, count it, reward it, adjust it, repeat. The math is small, the feeling is big. Weeks will start to echo each other. Cleaner mornings, quieter decisions, fewer collapses, more honest pages done. Not because life got easier, but because your system stopped asking for heroics. When it's messy, shrink. When it's loud, simplify. When you miss, return fast. When you doubt, serve. The rest will follow. And one night soon, you'll close your notebook and feel it. A soft click where chaos used to live. Not perfection, alignment. The kind that lets you sleep and then wake already pointed. Tomorrow morning, give yourself a win you can touch. Water, breath, words, timer, 2 minutes, one honest line. Let the hinge move the door, and let the door open into a life that fits the person you've been trying to be all along. Maybe the person you've been all along.